We just mentioned Seattle, the police dismantling this sort of self-styled Capitol Hill operation, organized protest. It's also known as CHOP. They ended a 3-week standoff between officers and protesters who had declared it a police-free zone. Attorney General Bill Barr is praising the efforts of Seattle's police chief, Carmen Best. And for this, I am making her one of my winners of the week. I want to bring in now District Media President Beverly Hallberg. Beverly, she tried. She really, really tried. Carmen Best, she even, for a moment went nose to nose with the mayor. She wasn't afraid to give interviews. She saw this coming. She saw the lawlessness. And, for a police chief to stand up to the mayor like this and in the city like this, I think she's one of our winners of the week. Unfortunately, had to come through tragedy.
Yeah, very sad what has taken place there. But like you said, I do give her a lot of credit. She's been one of the honest individuals from the beginning. She said right when this started that even the police weren't able to get to people who are being raped and robbed, and even worse now that we're finding out what's actually taken place. The mayor still hasn't backtracked on her statement saying that this was going to be the summer of love. So I think if we want to look to leadership, we should be looking to the police chief of Seattle and definitely not the mayor.
Yeah, although the mayor sort of had an epiphany once they started to protest in front of her own house, she wrapped up CHOP pretty quick after that.
It's crazy how it happens when you have some of these leaders who want to defund the police or allow these blocks to do, or people in these blocks to do whatever they want. Once their safety and security is threatened, they not only want to shut it down, they also expose that they have their own security detail. A lot of money being spent by elected officials on private security, yet apparently they want us to not have access to the police.
You can't make that up, can you? All right, here's my one of my other winners for the week. Former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations under President Trump, Nikki Haley. And you may say, well, why? You didn't see it in the news. Well, remember, 2015, she was South Carolina's governor, and she was vilified by probably half the Republican Party for removing the Confederate flag from that state's capital. She did so in the wake of the Charleston massacre there. Of course, that was involving Dylann Roof, where he killed 9 people in a church. His goal was to start a race war. Haley, way ahead of the curve. And you know what? I think she had the best week of any major politician. When you consider, Beverly, that Mississippi quietly took the Confederate flag off of their flag, and Richmond removed Stonewall Jackson's statue yesterday. She saw something.
She did, and she was someone who was willing to stand up for that. A lot of people are talking about the Confederate flag in addition to just statues. What I think we should point out, another reason why this is a winner, is that it was an elected official who made this. This should not be allowed by people vandalizing any type of property. This should be elected officials who are making this decision. We should actually have debate and discussion about it, because if we don't like what they do, we can vote them out of office. So she took the proper steps. Sadly, especially in our nation's capital, we're seeing a lot of people not take the right steps when it comes to destroying property.
Beverly, we've got a minute left, so I want to give you a chance to give us your winner of the week. I think it has something to do with people and companies who are pushing back against the cancel culture.
Yes, the businesses that are standing up against cancel culture. Facebook up first. Mark Zuckerberg is not changing his stance on some of their policies, saying he's not going to bow down to these mobs and these ad boycotts. He says, look, they're going to come back soon. And on top of that, it's a bad way to do business when you capitulate to threats. Also, Barstool Sports, a satirical sports blog, their president, Dave Portnoy, he came out this week with a video saying that cancel culture is coming for his head and he is not going to bow down to it. They try to scour everything that's been done by this company in the past 2 decades. He's having none of it. He says, look, I've made fun of every people group, and people come to our site to get away from political correct culture. They don't come here because they want us to be politically correct. So big winners for the week, those people pushing against the woke mobs.
And you know what? Maybe the silent majority is behind them. We'll see how it all ends up. But those are 2 great choices. Beverly, love these segments with you. Have a great weekend.
You too. Happy 4th.